Do you know what the most important part of music theory is? And no, I'm not talking about reading sheet music, it's a separate skill. I mean the key theoretical concept that helps you understand completely what you're playing. So what's the most important part of all the music theory? In my opinion, it's that one thing that once you grasp it, it makes everything more clearer. And that topic is intervals. In this video, I'll explain to you what they are, why they matter, and also I'll give you some exercises to help you apply them. That way you can internalize them and use them actively in your daily practice. If this is your first time watching my videos, welcome to my studio and my channel. I'm Stefano Rossi. I'm a guitar teacher, I'm the director of the DUP Music School, and in my spare time my daughter loves to photobomb me. You can find all the supporting materials for the lesson in this video in the first link below in the video description. Before we dive in, give me just 1 second of your time. If you haven't already, subscribe to my channel and give this video a like. The last person who didn't, their E string snapped just in the middle of a live solo. So if you don't want that to happen to you, you know what to do. And if you'd like to support me even more, take a look at my Patreon. Subscribers get access to all the lesson materials of my YouTube videos. Plus I'll be adding some extra goodies for those who sign up for free. Let's start with the basics. An interval is the distance between two notes. You might be thinking, okay, he's now talking about half steps and whole steps. Well, not exactly. In music, every specific distance between two notes, measured in whole steps and half steps, has a name. This isn't just random, there's a logic to it. Intervals are the building blocks of all musical structures. Scales, chords, everything in music is defined by the intervals that it contains. A major scale is called like that because of its intervals. If we change them, we get a different scale. And the same goes for chords, but let's take it step by step. Let's see an interval name and break it down. For example, let's take this interval, major third. The name of an interval has two parts. The first, or the number, so third, second, fourth, sixth, etc. That is called the diatonic distance and simply counts how many notes are from the starting point to the ending point. For example, from C to E there's a third because C, D, E. From D to B there's a sixth because D, E, F, G, A, B. Usually we count ascending intervals because it's easier. Now, here's the tricky part. The diatonic distance isn't enough. Whether we are talking about C to E or C to E flat or C sharp to E, they are all thirds. But they are different. This is where the second part of the interval name comes in. And it's the quality, and it can be major, minor, perfect, augmented or diminished. This describes the exact distance in terms of half steps and whole steps. For example, C to E is a major third because the distance is 2 whole steps. A to C is also a third, but the distance is a minor third because it's a whole step and a half step. To assign these qualities, we use the major scale as a reference. So the major scale is the foundation for naming intervals. Here's the C major scale. C is the root, D is the major second, E is the major third, F is a perfect fourth, G is the perfect fifth, A is the major sixth, B is the major seventh, so this gives us a reference point. Intervals can be divided into two categories. The first category, so seconds, thirds, sixths and sevenths, this can be major, minor, augmented or diminished. And the second category, fourths, fifths and octaves, can be perfect, augmented or diminished. We can summarize everything in a table. So, to switch between a quality and another, for example, from major to minor, we have to go down a half step. As you can see from the table, the first category intervals can't be perfect. So, in switching from major to minor, there's just one half step involved. Same applies for the second category intervals, where we don't have the major and the minor quality. So, from perfect to augmented or from perfect to diminished, we just have a half step distance. Using this, we can see that, for example, C to A flat is a minor sixth and C to F sharp is an augmented fourth. But what if the first note isn't C? To find intervals between other notes, we must build that note major scale first and then apply the same rules. For example, if you want to find what interval is between D and B flat, we first build the D major scale, so it's D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp. Then we insert these notes on the table and identify the interval accordingly. So D to B flat is a minor sixth. A great way to practice is to create one table for each natural note, so C, D, E, F, etc. Fill them out and test yourself with random intervals. But why do we learn intervals? Because everything in music is built on intervals. For example, the major scale is defined by the intervals that we've seen before, so root, major second, major third, perfect fourth, perfect fifth, major sixth, major seventh. If we lower the seventh by a half step, this isn't a major scale anymore, it's a mixolydian scale. And this applies to chords as well. For example, a major chord consists in root, major third, and perfect fifth. If we lower the third by a half step, we get a minor chord, because the intervals of a minor chord are root, minor third, and perfect fifth. We can use the same process to build the seventh chords. So, in this particular chord shape, if you want a major 7 chord, we need to lower a half step of the root on the third string. Then we can get the dominant 7 by lowering the major 7 a half step. And then we can get the minor 7 by lowering the third a half step. As you can see, understanding intervals is incredibly powerful. Once you master them, you can find and play any musical structure on your guitar. And you can use them even to create some exercises. For example, if we want to play that shape of the major scale by third, we can do it. So, I first play the root, then its third, then the second, then its third, so it's the fourth, and so on. And we can do it even with harmonic intervals, so playing together the two notes at the same time. This gives us a really nice pattern that we can use on our composition and improvisation like this one. I hope that you've enjoyed this video and that you find it helpful. Let me know what you think about it on the comments section. I'm always happy to hear from you. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video. Ciao ciao ciao!